What's up? This is Patrick of Radicards.com, and in this video I'll be discussing my experience at the July 13 through 16, 2023 Dallas Card Show. So we're just going to be talking about 9 different pieces that I found, most of which were bargain bin finds. So let's get right into it here. We're going to be talking about this mostly chronologically. First on the list here is 1986 MSA Jay's Potato Chips Discs, Robin Yount. So I found this in, I think it was like a quarter bin. And it's a bigger disc, so what I do is I put them in these like Card Saver ones, and then I bag the Card Saver one with my Card Saver one bags, and then I put that in a 4-pocket page in a binder, because that's the best way to store these for me. I just like that way to present them because they don't fit in boxes, and I don't do the top loader thing with the jumbos, and so I put them in a binder. So this is cool. Food issues were really popular in the 1980s and early 90s. They've been around a long time. Food issues have been around for many, many years, but a lot of them came out of the 1980s and 90s. This was one of them I hadn't seen yet, this potato chip one, the Jay's Potato Chips. Kind of a cool thing. Really beautiful yellow with the blue stars on there. I think it's just good looking. They're just good looking discs. So when I saw this, I was like, well, I'll grab that. It's kind of a nice addition. It's a random thing in my non-Thomas jumbo binder, but it definitely like works with, because it fits in that binder just fine. So really glad to get this for a quarter. This is the 1986 MSA Jay's Potato Chips Discs, Robin Yount. Next on the list here is this is my favorite card that I got at the show, and it's not that big a deal to most people, but to me it's awesome because it's so rich with youthful memories. And I never bought packs or boxes of 89 Bowman baseball. I never liked the dimension of it because it doesn't fit in anything. Because of that, the tops of these are always kind of shredded because they don't fit in pages. They don't really fit in most boxes. So it's a poor idea to come up with these cards in this dimension. So this is the 1989 Bowman Royce Clayton rookie card, and it's signed. I found this for $1 and I got it for like 75 cents. I think, yeah, it was like 75 cents. When I saw it, I was like, this is so rad because, so I discovered Royce Clayton in 1991 Upper Deck. I don't think he had representation in my C binder, but I remember when I was going through cards, like his name always came up in those early 90s years. He didn't really make much of a dent in baseball, like he wasn't a huge star, but he was one of those guys that was a prospect to some degree in the late 80s, early 90s. And so when I saw this, I hadn't seen this card before, and it was signed. I was like, well, I'll grab that because my recollections of Royce Clayton were always 91 and forward. And so when I saw him in 89 Bowman, it always reminds me of how few cards in this set I've actually seen, because I've never cracked a set or opened a box or bought a lot of packs of this stuff. I think I may have only opened 1 pack of 89 Bowman in my entire life to date. And I don't know when I'll be opening up much more of that stuff ever again. I don't know. But when I came across this, I was like, oh, so cool to see this guy in 89 Bowman. I didn't know he was in this set. So I grabbed this card and some others. The guy had like an 87 Donruss the Rookies Terry Steinbach signed. That's a cool one. And then I picked up a 89 score traded Omar Vizquel signed, which I learned later when I was filing all this stuff into the archive. I already have that card signed, but kind of cool to have 2 copies of that. So this is cool. This is the 1989 Bowman Royce Clayton rookie card signed. Love that. All right, next on the list, this is the 1993 Bazooka Team USA AJ Hinch rookie card. Well, this predates his rookie year, so this is actually just a pre-rookie card because he's a USA team member on this in this particular set. So the Bazooka set was issued, and it's basically like a run of the USA cards from the 93 Topps traded, which it parallels. And so these cards they're quite a bit rarer to find as standalones. I never see them. I think this is the first time I've seen a Bazooka single in the wild ever. And I've wanted the AJ Hinch, the Bazooka, this very card for a while, and I just hadn't bought it. I think I'd wanted like a higher grade of it. Like I wanted this to be a slabbed 10, but I don't know if I'll ever get one or not. I mean, whatever. I found this one in the dollar bin, and I was pretty excited because these Bazooka cards they're just rare. They're hard to find. Like I said, the limited print run, the way it was issued, in set form. Obviously, the big card is the Todd Helton, but they're, the lesser name guys are also pretty nice to have too. So these are really cool. I like these a lot. And I was glad to find this in Dollar Bin. This is the 1993 Bazooka Team USA AJ Hinch. All right, next on the list, this is cool. This is the 1987 Bowman's Best Mirror Image Inverted, featuring Kevin Brown, Ivan Rodriguez, Eli Marrero, and Mike Piazza. Now, if you don't know how to distinguish between the inverteds and the base, the inverteds have the rookie photo as the main image, not the corner image. The corner is designated for the veterans on the inverteds. So they come in the same block of parallels as the base. You got the base, refractor, and atomic. They're all pretty desirable. I think I found this one, in the quarter bin. But it wasn't anything more than the dollar bin, if I recall correctly. But this was a cheap card. So penny sleeved, right in the archive. Kind of a cool thing. I love this quarter card. It's so cool to see Piazza stuff. I always liked Piazza. I always thought he looked like Freddie Mercury. I think I brought this up in the past. So these were like hard to pull, but there's no print run on these. They're just tougher cards to get. This is not the first time I've acquired the inverteds in the wild. I've seen them a few times. I've purchased all the ones I've seen. Anyway, so cool. So this is the 1997 Bowman's Best Mirror Image Inverted, featuring a bunch of dudes, including Piazza and Irod. Okay, so this is the biggest baseball card I purchased at this show. I found this in a showcase with a price tag that was already really low, and then I offered half, and the guy came up $10, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. And so grab this. This is the 1987 EX2000 Essential Credentials to 99 Fred McGriff. Now, Fred McGriff's in a Hall of Fame this year. He and Scott Rowland, they made the Hall of Fame this year in 2023. So I knew that if I passed on this, I'd really be kicking myself later. So I was like, I'm just going to grab this because these cards are already hard to find and they're expensive. And so when I found this for the deal that I got it for, I was like, man, I'm not going to pass this up. So the way I acquired this was on Sunday. Right before I was loading a guy out. It was like 3 minutes before I was supposed to meet him in the same room. It was a couple tables over. I saw this and I was like, I'm going to grab this because I had some funds left over from making some money the previous night. And I haggled with the seller, who I know is a nice guy. And he worked with me on the purchase. And it was very, very reasonable purchase. It was very affordable to me. I'm not going to share what I paid, but I got this for what I felt was a very fair price. And these are really, really cool cards. I just love this design. This background design has been used on a few other cards. In 97 was the first time this design was issued to my knowledge, and it was repurposed in 2000 on the Star Rubies set from Skybox. So this is a really cool thing. I really like these cards a lot. The like plastic clear cloud image in the background is just so rad. And the die cut. I remember when these came out. I remember in 97 asking my brother to get me a pack of this for Christmas in 97. So I got a pack of this and a PlayStation 1. It was a great Christmas. I loved it. I kept all those cards, I think, in the pack. I didn't pull any inserts or parallels, but I remember being pretty floored by the design. These packs are somewhat hard to find now. They still exist if you look around for them, but they're quite a bit more expensive now than they've ever been. People are always in search of the credentials and the essential credentials. Really love this card. Love Fred McGriff. I always expected he would get in the Hall of Fame, so glad to see him get in this year in 2023. So there you have it. This is the 1997 EX2000 Essential Credentials to 99 Fred McGriff. All right, next on the list, this was a $5 purchase. This is 2000 Finest Gold Refractor Kenny Lofton. Love these cards. So I'm like casually building this set. I don't know if I'll ever finish it. I have like 40, 50 cards in it so far. It's a pretty big set though, and I don't think I'm ever going to finish it, but I like collecting these. They're just really cool. The decal edge with that like textured refractor design on them, they're just really nice looking cards. When I found this, I was like, oh, cool, Kenny Lofton. I PC Kenny Lofton. And I put this in the set box, not the Kenny Lofton section, so that's fine because I'm tracking my progress on the set. But glad to get this. This is so rad. So this was purchased with, there was like an A-Rod SP rookie and 94 Upper Deck Electric Diamond Manny Ramirez. And there was a Frank Thomas Leaf rookie and a Frank Thomas insert from 99 Skybox. So cool stuff. I was able to work with the seller. I've bought from him many times in the past, and I was glad to get those cards. And this one. So this was really cool. I was surprised by how little emphasis the seller placed on this card. To me, it's like an important card. He was like, it's a whatever Kenny Lofton card. And I was like, okay, well, I'll take that as good feedback. So I was glad to get this in the archive. I told him, I expressed interest and told him I was collecting this set, and he was happy for me. So there's always that. He's always a really nice guy to talk with. Good dude. So there you have it. This is the 2000 Finest Gold Refractor Kenny Lofton. All right, next on the list, this is the, okay, this is a mouthful. This is the 2000 Pacific Crown Collection Latinos of the Major Leagues Parallel to 99 Andrew Jones. Now, what distinguishes the parallel from the base really is the only thing I could define is the print run on the parallel is to 99 in the bottom left corner. That's it. They just grabbed 99 of these things and serial numbered them, and they called them a parallel. That's, to my knowledge, the only difference. So, very under the radar insert set. The serial number it's kind of overshadowed by the busy design in the background, which is great. It's a good looking design. It's great looking cards, but I rarely have seen these. I think this is my first one I've ever seen. And it was offered to me by a dealer. He's like, hey, you might like these if you want them. They're $5. It was like this and like 2 Steven Strasburg inserts. And I was like, yeah, I'll take those. And so glad to get this in the collection. This is my first one of the set. Really cool cards. I like Andrew Jones. I think there's a case that could be made for Andrew Jones in the Hall of Fame. I talk about that. I've written about that, before. If you search Radicards.com, you'll see an article from some years back about me talking about the case 4 against Andrew Jones making the Hall. So it's a fence. Let's see the people on the fence on that one. He's a great fielder though. Good outfielder. Awesome. Anyway, this is the 2000 Pacific Crown Collection Latinos of the Major Leagues Parallel to 99 Andrew Jones. Okay, so this is the 2000 Ultimate Victory Parallel 25 to 25 Luis Matos. So I never see these out in the wild ever, the golds, these like to 25s. They're exceedingly rare. I saw this in a showcase in a magnetic, and the sticker on it was $20. And I took a picture of it that day. I was like, well, I'll archive an image of that. And I came back next day. I was like, I got to get it because I just never see these cards. And they fit so well into my collection. This card just went straight into my teams box in the Baltimore Orioles section. I don't know who Luis Matos is, but I wanted just to get this card because it's a rare parallel from a really cool set. I got the Thomas on bin, I think last year or the year before, like over the last couple of years. I was so floored to finally get it because I'd wanted that card for a long time. And I think this Luis Matos is the first time I've ever seen one just out at a show or just out anywhere. And so I wanted to get it. It was a common, but it made it into this guy's showcase. This guy's cool. He's got a lot of nice things in his showcase. And this card was like in there, like in the middle of the rows. So I was pretty floored by that. And I was surprised nobody grabbed it. This player, I think people just buy a lot of players. I'm the type that buys cards. I just buy cards. I buy players too. But I rarely buy them from showcase unless it's from a set that I like. That's kind of like how I go. Like set usually trumps player and how I collect. Just because, I mean, it's hard to follow every player. I buy players in like cheap bins, Ripkins and Ryans and Gwynns and stuff. But in this instance, it was the set that drew me in. These cards just shine really well too. Like the hollow foil finish on these they're just clean, beautiful cards. Anyway, this is the 2000 Ultimate Victory Parallel 25 to 25 Luis Matos. So 2 shows ago, I found this card in a guy's showcase, and I had sold to these guys a bunch of times. I've known them now for a couple of years. Good people. They're in Florida, and I've talked about skateboarding a couple times in the past on this channel, just because I'm a skateboarder. And I've picked up a few skateboarding cards over the years. There aren't very many. It's just not a huge market for this stuff. But I've pieced together a few items that I've been considering making a variety gallery on the museum just to showcase these so I can enjoy them. Anyway, I saw this card 2 shows ago, and I was like, I want to see if he can still honor the price he's offered me 2 shows ago. And he actually gave me a better deal this time. I was like, would you do this price? He's like, yeah, for you. I know it's going to good home. So yeah, I'll take it. So this guy bought a couple boxes of these, 2000 Fleer Adrenaline. And he opened them and he pulled this, 2000 Fleer Adrenaline Gold Parallel Rob Deerdeck. And he had it slabbed. It came back a 10. PSA The flip is incorrect. It doesn't say gold, but it is the gold parallel. It's a really cool card. To my knowledge, this is Rob Dyrdek's rookie card. I couldn't find anything for him previous to 2000. And there are like very few issues from 2000 that he has. Like there's very small number of cards from even 2000. But this is the parallel of his rookie card from 2000, Fleer Adrenaline. So really glad to get this into the collection. This is kind of a cool thing because he's such a big name in skateboarding. He's a big name in media, actually. He's just a big name in pop culture. Super entertaining guy. I watched a lot of Robin Big when I was younger, and Fantasy Factory. I don't watch Ridiculousness. I just don't. But he's a really funny guy. Rob Dyrdek has tons of personality, lots of charisma. I always like that about him. He's a very smart businessman. Yeah, sometimes I come across these guys. Jamie Thomas is like that too. Growing up skateboarding, Jamie Thomas was always and still to this day is my favorite skateboarder. His style, his business acumen, his like background in skateboarding, the stuff he's done on a skateboard, he's still to this day my favorite. Yeah, he's like an older guy now, but so am I. I always followed him when I was as far back as being a teenager. And so he's still my favorite. Rob Dyrdek is a favorite for a different reason. He's my favorite in media. Tony Hawk, I met him one year. Really nice guy, super like down to earth, friendly, cool guy. Just these legends in skateboarding, and I'm glad to pick them up, cherry pick them when I find them, because it's just kind of, I never see them. Skateboarding cards are just very not mainstream. They're just a small market for this stuff. I'm part of the target audience because I'm a skateboarder. I still skate. I skated last night. And so skateboarding is such a big part of me. And so when I see skateboarding cards, I'm always like intrigued by it. But I don't predict they'll ever be huge, like big time cards. Like I don't think that the skateboarding trading card market will become gigantic. I think it'll always be pretty small because skateboarders are kind of a counterculture type. And so a lot of them don't collect cards. And so guys like me collect them, but a lot of this is still fringe, I think. And I think it's going to remain fringe for a while. And that's okay. Like, I just know that skateboarding is like a very specific type of person that likes that activity to want to fall on the ground and get back up and try it, fall on the ground again and get back up and try it again. I mean, really, like skateboarding in that way is akin to life and business. You fall a bunch of times, get up, try it again, fall a bunch of times. It's like life. You fail, and then you succeed. And then you like, I want to do it again, succeed again. Skateboarding is a lot like that. It's similar to life. I always like that about skateboarding. I feel like if you can tackle skateboarding, you can tackle life. There have been talks about this, like TED Talks and stuff. You look around on the internet, like skateboarding is like one of those things that will test you. If you can deal with skateboarding and handle all the stuff that comes with skateboarding, there's no reason why you can't be successful in life. And you can take that with anything that is hard on the body, and you can like get up and succeed. Like any sport really that requires a lot of impact on the body. If you can succeed in that activity, there's no reason why you can't succeed in life. Granted, that may be your calling, whatever that is, right? The thing that you're doing to put your body in harm's way to make a living, that is your calling. I used to be a sponsored skateboarder when I was younger, but I never really pursued it as a profession. I always knew it was going to be like a fleeting thing. Like enjoy it while you have it, because it's going to be a couple of years and then you're going to be doing something else. You'll always skate, but I never really wanted to be pro because it's so hard on the body. And I wanted to, when I was like 20, I was like, I want to walk when I'm 30. And then when I was 30, I was like, well, I want to walk when I'm 40. And so like, that's like in my mind, I'm like, well, how do I maintain skateboarding, and do it forever? How do I skate until I'm, at the very end and I can still enjoy it? Just avoid injury. How do you avoid injury? Don't take massive risks on skateboarding, like skate at your level. Take risks to the point where you're advancing, but slowly and surely. So for example, say you get on a board, you see a guy jump down like 8 set of stairs and you haven't even jumped down 2, and you try it and you break your leg. And like, that was dumb. That was an unnecessary risk. You start with 2 and you work on 3 and then 4 and then 5 and then 6. You work your way up to that. Some people are unnecessarily aggressive with how they pursue progress on their skateboard, and that's when they get injured. So know your boundaries, know your limits, but don't be afraid to take a little bit of risk here and there, just in life, and then see where it takes you. You'd be surprised. So anyway, I just feel like I'm lecturing you right now, so apologize for that. Anyway, I thought you'd like this. This is a cool card. This is kind of like the like milestone card for me for this show, because it's very me. It's Rob Dyrdek. It's skateboarding. It's PSA. It's a PSA 10. It's a rookie card. It's got everything. So there you have it. This is the 2000 Fleer Adrenaline Gold Parallel Rob Dyrdek rookie card. So if you're in the area, definitely check out the Dallas Card Show. They're every 2 months, the big ones, and there's like small ones kind of periodically throughout the year in other locations. Thanks for tuning in to Radicards TV on Radicards.com. I'm your host, Patrick Reno, and until next time, enjoy collecting. If you like this content, please subscribe. Thanks. Enjoy collecting.